now. And Skinny Kenny goes right after JC Ice. Ice taken to the ropes. Ice with a go behind, and he nailed him. He caught him right away. Loops him. 1, 2, 3. He got it. As quick as a wink, JC Ice has taken the measure of Skinny Kenny. Boy, oh boy, how impressive is that? JC Ice making very quick work of Skinny Kenny in the time of 11 seconds. JC Ice with a record here in MCW, the quickest fall ever in the history of MCW. JC Ice wrapping up Skinny Kenny. And now there's Paul Adams and Flash Flanagan making their way to the ring. JC Ice climbing out of the ring. Wolfie D has the dog collar and the chain attached to his neck. And we are awaiting Flash Flanagan to do the same. And now promoter Bert Prentice going over to give some encouragement, if you would, to Flash Flanagan, because Flanagan a bit reluctant to climb into the ring with Wolfie D. Now Wolfie D supposedly with a broken ankle, and the discussion goes on the floor. Here's Bert. Well, he wants the bell. Bert says ring the bell. This match is going to be underway right now between Flash Flanagan and Wolfie D. Referee Gene Johnson standing there awaiting Wolfie's step through the ropes so he can attach the dog collar to the throat of Flash Flanagan. There you saw Wolfie D with it on. Now Flanagan grabs the chain right away and pulls Wolfie D to the floor. And look at this. Coming away with that crutch. He's hobbling around in that ring, but he's as dangerous on one leg as most men are on two. Flanagan now making his way back into the ring here. Referee Gene Johnson is in a very unenviable spot. He has to put that dog collar on Flash Flanagan, and as you can see, Flanagan being very, very cautious about this. And you can't put anything past Flash Flanagan. Quite frankly, you just never know where his mind is, whether he's stable or whether he hasn't taken his medication today. I'll tell you. Wolfie D and Flash Flanagan. Flash trying to pull Wolfie D across the way. Wolfie holding on to the ropes, still branding that crutch in that right hand. And right away, Wolfie going to work with that crutch. The great equalizer, the crutch, being used on Flash Flanagan. No love lost by these two, I can assure you. They have been into some heated battles. And Wolfie D goes right to work on Flash Flanagan. The referee finally gets the crutch away from Flash. But Flash with a quick advantage on one leg, going right after Wolfie. And Wolfie reverses now. Flash into Wolfie, and Wolfie pounding away. And he has Flash Flanagan's locked up in the ropes. Wolfie D with things going his way. Referee starting the count. Wolfie D pounding away at Flash Flanagan. He was biting at the head or the nose of Flanagan, and now using that chain to inflict even more punishment on Flash Flanagan. He's got Flash where he wants him. He's got him dog collared at the throat. He's got him hooked in the ropes. And Wolfie D on one leg is pounding away at Flanagan, now gets him down to the mat. And Wolfie D obviously has been in some of these dog collar matches before. With that 12-foot chain, the only thing between these two men, and you can see Wolfie D's right ankle bandaged and taped. He supposedly broke the ankle in Louisville, Kentucky last week. And there's one for Flanagan. One more time in the corner. And Flanagan comes firing back on Wolfie D. Snap bear by Wolfie. Drops the elbow. Left elbow over the neck. Goes for the cover on Flanagan. Count of one was all he got. I have a sneaky suspicion this one is going to turn out to be violent. You got two men that don't like each other. Now Flash Flanagan right on that broken ankle of Wolfie D. He awaited that opportunity, the window to open, and when he got in position, he took advantage of it, going right after the ankle of Wolfie D, and now snaps across the lower part of the leg, and Wolfie D is in some kind of pain right now. Flash Flanagan awaited the opportunity to go after the ankle and did, and now Wolfie D pulls Flanagan off the ropes and goes right to work at the side of the head. Flanagan being worked over by Wolfie D, takes him into the ropes. Remember, JC Ice is in the corner, and now Wolfie D tossing Flash Flanagan to the floor, and now, oh my God, he's going out on the floor himself. Flash Flanagan on the floor, and Wolfie D followed him to the floor. Wolfie pulling him around and into the post. Wolfie gonna grab a chair and nails him with it. Flash Flanagan on the floor. Wolfie D just nailed him with that chair. Flanagan trying to get back in, being helped in by Wolfie D, and Wolfie D going right after the eyes in the upper head of Flash Flanagan. Wolfie D pounding away at Flash Flanagan's head. As we begin to see some red appear on the forehead of Flash Flanagan, I believe he was lacerated when that chair caught him front and forward in the face. Look at this. Wolfie D on one leg, showing his best, goes for the cover. He was choking Flanagan, he had him down, but Flash got a shoulder up after a 2 count. Wolfie hobbling around. I don't think I've ever seen a wrestler wrestle in a cast before. But indeed, Wolfie D doing just that. Paul Adams reaching in, and as Wolfie D turned his attention to Paul Adams, Jamie Dundee, better known as JC Ice, chasing him with the crutch. And Flanagan took an advantage by cutting down Wolfie D from behind. A chop block, if you would. Paul Adams giving some words of encouragement to his fighter. And Flanagan now, with that dog collar on, has the chain wrapped around the neck of Wolfie D. Wolfie D now in a world of trouble because Flanagan, with things going his way, Flanagan right now has taken his mind off of the injured ankle and is just trying to wear Wolfie D down and pulls him across to the center of the ring. 2 men separated by a chain. Horse collared, dog collared, if you would, at the throat. Flanagan scooping up Wolfie D, slams him down. Off the second rope, drops the leg across the throat, and this might spell doom for Wolfie D. Flash Flanagan inviting JC Ice into the ring. I got news for you. When JC Ice feels like coming into the ring, don't sweat it. He'll do it. Wolfie coming to his knees, now coming to his good foot. Wolfie on the good foot, slams back at Flash Flanagan, exchanging punches, and Wolfie D taking the measure of Flash in the corner. Wolfie underneath, down low. And Flash Flanagan neutralized to the canvas. The fans at ringside letting Paul Adams have it too, as he and JC Ice, there you have a snap. Stunner on Flash Flanagan. Wolfie D pulls him into the middle of the ring, goes for the cover. 1, 2, and kick out at 2. Wolfie on one good wheel, Flash Flanagan on 2 with Paul Adams in his corner. JC Ice in the corner of Wolfie D. This is the Tojo Yamamoto Memorial card from the Fairgrounds Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, and it has been a wild one up until now, and it is about to get wilder, and now Wolfie D has Flanagan hung. He's got him hung by the dog collar. And JC Ice neutralizing Paul Adams. The referee starts the count, and JC Ice, wait a minute. The referee calling for the bell. Flash Flanagan escapes the dog collar while being hung. The collar actually broke off Flash Flanagan's neck. He's still got the collar on, but the chain actually broke off the collar. And now Flash Flanagan pouring Wolfie D out of the ring and ceremoniously hanging him on the other side of the ring. Look at this, Flash Flanagan hanging Wolfie D, and here comes JC Ice. quickly with the crutch to rescue his partner and friend Wolfie D. But Flash Flanagan,
Ladies and gentlemen, you won the match.
with things going his way, at the very end of the match, it looked like Flanagan was over. Flanagan being hung outside the ring. I think the referee disqualified Wolfie D at that point. Flanagan will get the victory, but not before he did damage to Wolfie D with that broken ankle. We'll be back with more of the Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card.